Stop buying coffee for $5.50. You go to work, you spend $15 on a sandwich. What are you, an idiot? It costs you 99 cents to make a sandwich at home and bring it with you. You start to add that up every day, it's a ton of money. Most people, particularly working in metropolitan cities that are just starting out on their job, making their first $60,000, piss away about $15,000 a year on.
As a general piece of advice, if someone with a net worth of upwards of, $400 million is shaming you for enjoying the small, simple pleasures that life offers us, 99.9% of the time, they're trying to distract you from the real reasons why your life sucks. Namely, people like blowhard Canadian Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary and other ultra-wealthy capital owners exploit the system to enrich themselves and maintain their status and power in society, regardless of how that attitude affects everyone else.
You're going to love this. What's happened here is the system self-corrected. When you try and break the American model, it fixes itself. And I think people should give credit within the Democratic Party. Donald Trump saved them tonight, too, because they're going to have to take a spatula to these policies and bring it back to the center over the next 4 years. When it gets too crazy, it fixes itself. And whether you love Trump or you hate him, every Democrat owes him a thank you very much, Mr. President.
With Trump's imminent return to power, O'Leary has dipped into our politics more than ever before, licking Trump's boots clean whenever he possibly can, positioning himself as a staunch ally to the incoming administration, and most importantly, working tirelessly to protect the financial interests of himself and the top 1%. And hey, just a quick break in the action. You should go subscribe to my new show, The Rick Strom Show. I'm going to be interviewing people from sports, music, journalists, authors, sports doctors. It's going to be fantastic. Please go subscribe. Thank you.
But the regulatory environment in the previous administration was punitive, downright punitive. And, pursuing our big tech companies and trying to break them up and sell off their assets is not the right way to go, because technology's proved itself over and over again that really it's innovation, not regulation, that changes the market so quickly. I would really like to change management in the regulatory agencies to a more open, I want to use that word, because really, I love the way the market works and self-corrects itself. I'm a market-driven guy. Everybody knows that. But I hate a single individual deciding what is right and wrong for a market. That in itself is un-American. And that's what I think the market senses in the Trump administration.
Echoing an eerily similar sentiment as Mark Zuckerberg about regulating tech companies and breaking up the monopolies they've cultivated, what O'Leary is really arguing for is stripping as much power as possible from our regulatory departments, gutting them and eventually rendering them useless and ineffective so Congress can eliminate them later down the line. That's what's really at play here, not preserving the American way, like what O'Leary wants you to believe.
Of all those people, and we're going to get a different tonality to M&A, and it'll be a good thing for everybody.
Mandatory spending is Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. It's about 60% of the annual budget. I've yet to see the politicians who have the stones to solve it. That going to change?
This is his to do. If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be him. And he's basically said he would tackle this. So let's see him do it. And I'm in the camp that says lower corporate taxes generate more tax revenue, because I've seen that also. So there is a way to keep the tax cuts that Trump put in place years ago intact.
Like I stated in the beginning, O'Leary has an approximate net worth of $400 million, and he's arguing to cut Medicare, cut Medicaid, cut Social Security, and other mandatory spending programs, while simultaneously calling for corporate taxes to be slashed even further to chip away at the national debt. Because who cares about providing crucial life-saving services to millions of Americans when you can divert even more taxpayer dollars from the public to a small group of private citizens? Some of whom, like O'Leary, aren't even American citizens. So when you see O'Leary making the pilgrimage to Mar-a-Lago to kiss Trump's behind along with the ultra-conservative premier of Alberta, Canada, Danielle Smith, while simultaneously boosting his very fragile ego by making the absurd claim that Trump shot a 68 during their round of golf, just know that this is exactly what corruption looks like. But that's sadly how things work in this country. The highest bidders will always have seats at the table when it comes to decisions that directly affect our lives. And Kevin O'Leary is at the heart of two consequential outcomes from the Trump administration, though one is much more serious and sinister than the other.
We are a buyer. We've got a valid syndicate. We're prepared to put up as much as $20 billion. And we don't need the algorithm. We don't want the algorithm, obviously, because the order of Congress is forcing them to shut down because of the algorithm. It's Chinese spyware. Pretty well everybody knows that now. And it's not really an issue around free speech, because if they sell it, we'll keep it lit up, and we want to. And certainly for me, the majority of my companies, up to 60% of their digital spend each week is on TikTok. It's a very effective platform. And I want to make sure, as an advocate for American entrepreneurship, that we keep it lit up.
O'Leary is teaming up with billionaire Frank McCourt to buy TikTok before the Supreme Court gives the final decision to ban the platform or not, even admitting that a major factor in his decision to join the bid and his financial interest in the platform staying operational.
You know, the amazing thing about Mar-a-Lago, somebody asked me this week, why aren't you booking your travel to Davos? And I said, I don't need to. Davos has moved to Mar-a-Lago. I can meet everybody I want in Mar-a-Lago. It is the new Davos. I met the Prime Minister of Italy was there when I was there. This place is the center of the universe if you want to get stuff done, like a TikTok deal.
That last sentence should terrify all of us.
But I don't want it shut down. It's not good for my businesses. It's not good for 6 million other small businesses in America that make a living off it. We just need to take out the onerous piece, the spyware. It's what we want to do to save the platform for Americans. I think it's the right thing to do, and the company should want that too. This is the only path I see forward, and so let's see what happens.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can manage to save TikTok and keep relations between the United States and Canada, you're going to be one of the most important people in the world. We're going to have to give you a new nickname. It's not Mr. Wonderful. It's going to have to be something else.
Let's tell it like it is. O'Leary and the investment group trying to buy TikTok's U.S. operations are really trying to gain the power to control what is being shown on the platform and the profits said content generates. Your data is no safer in the hands of the American government and American corporations than the Chinese government and Chinese corporations. So all this comes down to trying to weaken influence and financial power the current owners hold so far. We hope SCOTUS shuts down the push to ban the platform, because things will only get worse if we hand the keys over to a greedy Trump stooge like Kevin frickin' O'Leary. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports, and or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.